to get to the bottom of what happened.
Caroline, the DOJ and FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged at the President's direction to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
Sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars.
See how quickly she moves the goalpost? Let's go back to a year with one of the lists that they were talking about on the news. And let's take a listen.
More than 200 previously redacted names linked to Jeffrey Epstein have been made public tonight.
A federal judge ordered the unredacted documents to be released last month. Natalie is back with more details on who is named here. Natalie.
And the documents here in this case are stemming from a 2015 lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell, a former lover and accomplice to disgraced financier and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The series of 40 documents reveals some big names that were previously redacted, including former President Bill Clinton, his estranged longtime aide Doug Band, Prince Andrew, David Copperfield, and Jean-Luc Brunel, who, like Epstein, died while awaiting trial. Many of the names are of people not accused of wrongdoing, including Clinton.
Right, but that has nothing to do with anything. I get it. Let's take a look at the cell where they're showing 11:58. Apparently, there's a minute that gets blacked out. Something happens to it. And I don't know. I don't know what they're chalking it up to. They're talking about somehow editing the video or something like that, which I don't understand why you would have to edit the video. But let's take a look. It'll go from 11:59 to 12 a.m. and that whole minute will skip out. You can't see it on here because you have the scroll thing scrolling on the bottom, but you'll see it. About 5 more seconds. And there you have it. 12 a.m. Why would that happen? Right? You have, what is it, over 12 hours of footage. And that's where the incident, the error occurred from 11:59 to 12. Whether that means something or not, who knows? But it just sounds a little bit odd to me. Anybody that knows me knows that I was right. I said this years ago, you'll never see the list. I said it years ago when I stopped watching Fox News, all news, daytime news in general, and I said no one's going to be locked up because if you lock up anybody of substance, then that would mean you would have to place Hillary Clinton, the Obamas, everybody. You'd have to place them all in prison. And therefore, no one is getting arrested. You guys know who you are. I told you. It's never coming out. It'll never come out. Period. Anyhow, I'll see you guys on the next one.